back. Annie is actually, you know what, Annie, you can introduce yourself. How are you doing, first of all?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Yeah. How's everything in Kentucky?
Good. Yeah, I'm still down here in Kentucky, Bowling Green at my university. It's Western Kentucky University. Things are all shut down here, just like I'm sure they are in Edmonton. So I've just been doing some training on my own, and then that's about it, doing schoolwork.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself? Because you are born and raised in Edmonton, right? Yeah, tell us a little bit about your soccer journey and where you're at now.
Yeah, so I am from Edmonton. I grew up there. I lived in Edmonton until I was 17 years old when I moved away to my first university, which was a Division II school on Long Island, New York, Adelphi University. And then after 2 seasons there, I transferred to my current school, which is Western Kentucky, and I've been here for 3 seasons now. So I just played my 5th season in NCAA soccer.
That's awesome. Awesome. Huge accomplishment. Cool. So Annie, you're a goalkeeper?
Yes.
Right? So today we're going to be working on our goalkeeping skills. So let's do this. But I just wanted to point out my jersey because here our free footy days were always Wednesdays. So today's a Wednesday. So I'm like, you know what? I think this is the best day to wear my free footy jersey. This is a team that I personally donated to. It was a crowdfunded team. So we came up with the logo and we got it professionally done for us. And then we got some sponsor jerseys. So it was actually pretty cool. But I think
they're pretty sharp jerseys.
I know, right? They're super clean. It's awesome. And you should see the pitches with all the jerseys because we try to get like the brightest colors, right? Yeah. The brightest purple, the brightest green. So it's like the pitches, it just looks super cool. Awesome. Okay, so what are we going to be working on today?
Okay, so to start off with, this week I have a soccer ball here. These drills, they're not about kicking the soccer ball or anything, throwing it. It's all about your hands. So if you don't have a soccer ball at home, you can use any other sort of ball that you have. So the first thing that we're going to work on is talking about hand shape and how you should be catching the ball. So you see from the front, I'll show you, it looks like this. So you can see a little bit of my fingers on each side. You can see where my elbows are. They're not out here and they're not tucked in here. They're loose, a little bit wider than shoulder width, I'd say, so that I can absorb the ball like this. So I'll show you from the side too. So from this angle, you can see how my hands are. They're sort of, all my fingers are spread out. I'm not catching like this, not like this, but they're comfortable so that I can hold it. And I have every surface of my hand is touching the ball right now. And you can see it, my whole hand from the side, and it's a little bit towards the back. So I'm not catching it here, but I'm not all the way behind the ball either. So I have my hand sort of to the back and side of the ball. And then the most important part, I think, is you've probably heard about the W shape. Let me adjust this a little bit. So you want to have your hands in a W like this when you're catching the ball. Obviously not upside down like this, but you have your thumbs not touching and not too far apart. You have your hands still on the side of the ball and they're making a W. So if you're working without the soccer ball, you can practice like this. See how my hands are in a W? And you can see the shape of the soccer ball in my hands because I practiced this so much that I know where it is without the ball even there. So then when I go down to pick it up, I just put my hands on like that. You see, so the W. And if you're younger and you have smaller hands, you can start off with a bit more of a triangle because your hands might not be strong enough to do this. If your hands are smaller, you can start like this to get more of your hand behind the ball because otherwise it could go through your fingers. But you want to always be working on having that W shape. So the main strength in stopping the ball comes from this part of your hand, your thumb, and these 2 fingers. And then these 2 fingers and this part of your hand are to secure the ball. So these parts are strong, so it hits there, and these ones secure it, but it all happens at the same time. So you do that. And then another important thing is you want to be absorbing the ball when you catch it. So it's coming towards you, and you use your elbows and your wrists to soften it. So you don't want it to just hit your hands and bounce off. You want to soften it. With your wrist, see how my wrist flexes back? Not all the way, I'm not letting the ball roll off. It just flexes enough to catch it. So the first drill that we're going to do to work on the hands is really, really easy, and you can just do this over and over to work on that hand shape. So we're just going to be bouncing the ball off the floor, and we're going to be catching it in that W hand shape. So you just bounce it to yourself. And see how I'm bringing it up every time? So I'm not going like that. My forearms aren't stiff. Catch and absorb it as I catch. You can do this on the wall too, but I don't want my neighbors to hate me, and your parents might not want you to wreck the walls. So I'm going to do it on the floor. You're just doing this, and then from the side, see you're still in the ready position. And I'm absorbing the ball. And then if you want to make it more challenging, you can go closer to the ground and do tight ones, and you can go higher and switch it up. But the main components are making sure that my hands stay in that W shape after every bounce, because the ball can move a little. Still want to be in that W shape. Still want to be catching it securely. Nice.
Dylan Crowley approves this message.
I see this. I see the little hands. Yeah.
Good. I guess we just got approval from a pro. That's awesome. I love that W shape. I think you can't work on it enough. I was just bouncing it, and then I realized that you weren't even. I'm still practicing, but I love that. The stance, right? Like I know. Well, Dylan had taught us this before, is like keeping that stance every time you're bouncing that ball. Okay, I'm gonna show you my stance. Okay.
Okay.
So
let me see this. I gotta look up close.
Can you see everything? Can you see me perfectly?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so knees are bent.
Yeah.
And like they're a good, like I feel pretty strong. Like they're shoulder width apart. And it's like my chest up, right?
Yep.
And just, oh, is this good?
Can you turn sideways? Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say maybe a little bit more leaning forward. I think you're a little here, so when you bounce it, it's almost between your knees.
Yeah.
Really, like, definitely solidly in front of you. Not like leaning over too far, but just like, but it's definitely in front of you. So you're like forward.
Cool. Awesome. I think, yeah. So just a little bit forward.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I love doing that. And then do you do any like warm-ups with like I know we were doing this a bit before, but just to get your hands warmed up?
Yeah, I do a lot of warm-ups right from the time we're in the locker room getting dressed, actually. I always make sure I have a soccer ball with me when I'm getting ready, getting dressed, and I'm always picking it up, tossing it to myself back and forth, passing it off the wall to myself, just little things like that. And then as soon as we get to the field, I'm out there, I'm juggling, and I'm getting someone to kick the ball to me just to sort of get into it before we even start our warm-up as a team.
Okay, because that's smart, because I feel like I didn't warm up my fingers. So when I was catching the ball, I would catch it with my fingers overlap because I was like, oh yeah, the ball is so much bigger. You know, you have to like learn the size of the ball like over and over again.
Yeah, with all of my like individual hand warm up, that's at least an hour to 90 minutes of just my own
constantly doing
this before we even start warming up for the game, just to get into it.
Oh yeah, that's a great tip for all goalkeepers to prep for practice, game day, anytime they're going on the pitch. That's awesome. So thank you. What are we doing next?
Okay, next it's a really fun one. I have a surprise prop today. We're going to be working on the mechanics of diving. So this one is a little hard to do indoors. As we know, nobody likes to land on the ground. So if you can fit on the sofa when you dive, then feel free to dive onto your sofa, but make sure you're not hitting your head on anything and make sure your parents are okay with it.
It's safe, area safe.
I cannot fit on the sofa anymore. I'm too long, so I got the mattress out.
Cool. Awesome.
So I'm gonna pull that out.
This is awesome.
There we go. Can we see the whole thing? Perfect.
Oh yeah, yep, you can.
All right, there. We can see the first step too. So this is perfect. This is just like having like a high jump mat or something to practice diving onto. So the first thing that we're going to work on, we're just going to go chronologically in order. So from the start of the dive through the whole progression of the dive.
Okay.
So the first thing to work on is the step. So without even having the ball, you need to know where to step to dive, because you want to dive forward. Like if you imagine there's a diagonal forward line going out from your body. So if the goal line is here, the goal line is completely horizontal to me. It's right under my feet going this way. So if I dive sideways, I'm diving right along the goal line, and I don't want to do that. I want to dive and intercept the ball in front of the goal line. So in order to do that, our first step has to be in that direction along that line. And you want this whole movement to go along that diagonal line out from your body. It's not a forward step and then having to dive over like this. It's diagonal. So you can go this direction. And you want to have your toe pointed in that direction that you're going, because otherwise you're still trying to dive over your leg. You want to be diving smoothly through. So I'll show you how that looks with this. Oh, wow, that's a lot bouncier than I thought. So yeah, with that first step, you're trying to go diagonally. So you see how I'm starting? Maybe you can't tell with the depth, but I'm starting at the back of the mattress. Because if I started in line with it and I'm diving forward, I would miss it completely.
Right.
So I'm starting behind it and off to the side. And I take that first step and dive. So when you're diving on the ground, your legs won't come up like that.
Yeah, because that's a good bouncing mattress.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mattress. I hope it's still.
I want to put it on my mat, but I don't know if I could. Because I think I got the step. The step I understand. You're lunging forward, and everyone can see that. Like I'm starting behind.
That's the point you bring up. Like calling it a lunge. I would say that definitely. That's something I forgot to mention. You want to keep it. I know last week we talked a lot about body weight. So just to go over it quickly, you want to have your center of gravity right centered always. So right now, my center of gravity, I would say it's sort of in the middle of my hips, right here. And that's where I want it. So, and I want to keep my body centered with that center of gravity at all times when I'm diving. So I don't want to take too wide of a step, and I don't want to take too narrow of a step. And I want to move my body at the same time. So I don't want to take a step out like that, like a lunge, and I don't want to move my body before I move my leg. I'm moving my body and my center of gravity at the same time as I move my leg.
Okay.
So I go here, about one shoulder width out, here, and then I'm diving. So the whole time my center of gravity stays over that knee when I'm diving. That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, because I was kind of like lunging forward.
Yeah.
So just a little step forward. Okay. And then there's the next one. I think I have that step.
Yeah.
It's like hard to do it slow.
Yes, it is hard to do it slow. It's a lot easier to do it all at once.
But it's good to practice. And it's a good point that you're saying to go forward and not sideways. Like you don't want to be on that line. And that is because like if the ball hits you, it's obviously you have less space to save it. If there was like impact and your hand happened to go like back, it's gonna cross over that line, right? Is that
totally.
reasons behind it?
Into your own net. Like if you're here and the ball hits you, the angle of reflection would be backward. If you're here and it hits you, it'll still go backward a little, but it'll go outside of the frame of the ball.
That's a great tip for a lot of keepers. And That's even with like just standing on your line, whether you're diving or whether you're just making a save, like like this.
Yeah.
Don't ever be on your line, right?
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what you get told?
That is great advice.
Yeah, like when is it really the only time you should be on your line?
The only time, penalty kicks.
Right? And that's like
no other time. Yeah.
Yeah. So tip for all our goalkeepers, definitely don't stay on your line. Don't stay on that white line. What would you say is what's something that you've always been told? Like be, a couple feet away from it, or what have you been told? Do you have like a rule of thumb or anything?
I would say that's one of the hard parts that just needs experience and listen to your own goalkeeper coach, like someone who can see you in person and see how you play, because obviously like you have to move throughout the game, so it always changes. But then for each individual goalkeeper, it changes too. If you're taller, you can go farther out usually because it's harder to chip you. Or if you're really fast, you could go farther out. So you're always trying to get faster, but there are some things you can't control, like I can't grow 4 inches. So
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of being comfortable with the way you play and knowing what your limits are. Like, can I stand here? Will I be able to move around in time?
Yeah, definitely. But never stand on your line.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing we know for sure is never stand on your line, and then talk to your coach, talk to your teammates on like that distance. Awesome. Okay, so what's next on the diving?
Okay, so the next step is we're going to be talking about how to land and what part of your body should be touching the ground and in what order they should touch the ground. Okay. So when I'm diving, you can think of this like head, shoulders, knees, and toes type of deal. So I have the outside of my shin here, the outside of my thigh, like completely up the side. Okay. My hip is really, really important. You don't want to be landing too far back, and landing too far forward would be difficult but painful. So right here is the best way to soften the blow. That's where you have the most padding. And then on the side, when I'm in proper form, there's up my ribs, and then you have the outside of my shoulder right here, outside of my arm. So it's the very just outside here. So you can see there's like a line straight down from the outside of my arm, outside of my shoulders, hips, outside of the leg, all the way down. So when you're diving, you want that to all hit the ground in order. So you want to I'm going to do it in fast motion first, and then I'll talk about what I did. So I have my step, and there. So what I did, I'll do it from my knees now. First, it was my leg touching the ground, the outside of my shin. And then it's my thigh. And then this part, the shoulders, I would say. You don't want to land on your ribs, but your shoulder sticks out far enough that it'll protect you. Your shoulder. There we go. And you have this knee. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Don't want to put too much in now. But you can see how when I'm doing it in slow motion, I'm going like this, my dramatic reenactment. Yeah. You want to do that. Like I said before, you're always keeping your body on that line. So you don't want your spine to be twisting all over the place. You don't want your knee to hit the ground and then a big delay before your hips hit the ground. You want to do it just like one after the other. So I take my step, dive. There we go. Everything touches in order.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Try. So I'm gonna try from my knees. I think this is a good place to start, definitely, right? A good place to start because especially if I don't have a mattress or anything, maybe this is probably the best. Okay. So here, I'm making my step forward, down, and like.
Yeah, that's good. Other than the hip first and the back bending, like I said, but it's definitely very hard to do if you don't have a soft surface to land on, because I think the main barrier to people doing it and what makes people do it with like hip first and then delaying when the top of their body moves, I think the main barrier is being scared. So obviously it's realistic to be scared when you're on a hardwood floor. Like you should be scared.
Yeah.
You're just crazy. So
yeah, I could have just got some pillows and like made a sweet thing. Maybe I'll do that after. Yeah.
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 But then if you're on the grass, some people, like, still when you're first learning to dive, you're probably going to be a little bit nervous about, like, isn't this going to hurt? But if you do that proper form and everything lands like one after the other on the ground in that order really quickly, and you're not bent out of position or anything, then you'll be safe and it won't hurt to land.
Okay. Is there, like, do you guys ever slide? Like, is it easier? Like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to, because I feel like I'm just falling, and that's what scares me. I'm scared of just like dropping down like that, you know? But if I see it more of like a glide dive or something, is that even a thing? Am I just making stuff up? Like,
yeah, if there's a ball that's completely like on the ground rolling, then it does look like more of a glide, I would say. It's a good way to describe it, because then you're going sort of from here, and you're sort of like extending your body out to it. You're not diving onto it. And that's for a ball that's rolling on the ground coming towards you. So if anything's in the air, I know it looks scary to just like throw yourself at the ground. But like with the proper form, you'd be shocked. Like it does not hurt at all. I do this like hundreds of times a week.
You just gotta do it. I gotta do it on my couch.
Yeah.
But I'll record myself, so then that way you can see my form, because that's like the most, to me, like the one that I just did, I was like, yeah, that looked good. But it's like, okay, but you have to, like, what did you say? My hips. Oh yeah, I delayed my upper body when
so your spine was sort of bent to the side at one point. Like when your hip was on the ground, you were still doing like a side crunch.
Right. So it was like,
so you want to keep your spine all in one line at all times.
Okay.
Just to, keep it from hurting.
Yeah. Okay. So we got that down. We have the step forward. So start from the beginning. Oh, excuse me. So it's the step forward, and then you're hitting all of this: your knees, your thigh, your hip, this, and out. And your knee comes as soon as your hands come out.
Yeah, so the next part I'll talk about is how you want to secure the ball when you're diving, and how you want to bring your knee up. So I'll talk about the knee first. So I'll do another demo dive. This is really fun, diving onto this. You see, when I step, my knee comes up. And this serves more than one purpose. So my knee coming up, just like when you go up for a cross, you bring your knee up. It's that same motion when you're diving. So for one, with a cross, it protects you. So when I'm diving like this, when I finally land and my knee is here, this is my biggest form of protection. My shin is strong. I'm wearing shin guards. That's the best way to protect yourself. When you're down on the ground here, you're vulnerable. So in front of my face, there's the shin and the ball that I'll be holding. And then the second part is that when you're doing some longer dives, that knee drive gives you power if you time it right. So the reason I do it as I'm diving and not after I land is because this motion pushes my body further when I dive. So I push my body further.
Oh, okay. So that knee thing was from the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay, that makes so much sense. And like, when you're running, we always talk about bring your knees up higher, drive your knees. Yeah. And I guess
like driving
part of that step forward is you're stepping forward and then you're like pushing yourself off.
Yeah, exactly. That's what gives you that lift to sort of start that diving movement.
Yeah, see? Okay, that was the one piece I was missing, because I totally was bringing up my knee last. I was like, oh, and now knee. And it's like, oh, man, I missed the whole thing. Okay, cool. That was awesome. And then your hands.
Yes, and then to connect to what we did with the handling, we're going to talk about how you secure the ball when you dive.
Okay.
So, you know how we talked about that W here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you catch it in the air. Like when you're diving, no matter where you're catching the ball, unless you're catching it like this, but if you're catching it here, if you're catching it while you're diving, catching it from a corner kick above your head, You always want to have that W, be using these 3 fingers, these 3, to be the sort of power backing behind the ball to stop it, and these 2 to secure it in your hands. So we have that W shape again. But then when you land, lots of people can spill the ball then because you're hitting the ground with an impact. So if I were to just hit the ground, that might make the ball bounce out of my hands. So what you want to do is the best analogy is to use the ground as a third hand.
Oh, okay.
I'm catching it. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. I'll do it this way first and then the other way. So I'm catching it with the W shape. I'm diving right now. And then when I bring it down, I use, let me adjust this so you can see it a little bit better.
Okay.
There we go. So I caught it. See, I have that W shape. And when I bring it down, remember I'm landing outside of my shoulder, outside of my arm. And then as I bring it down, see how this hand is on top now? This hand is directly behind it. And then the ground is a third hand. So you're using this hand on top to control the bounce. When you hit the ground, you don't want to have it go like that and bounce. So this is, you're turning your hands to secure the bounce. And then this prevents it from going backwards, which is towards your net, and that's where we never want it to go. So you're catching it and bringing it down. And then the ground just helps you secure it, and it's already there, so you might as well use it. But the one thing to remember, we don't want to be coming too far forward. Like, I'm not talking about diving like this and throwing the ball on the ground. You still want to have all those parts of your arms that we talked about make contact with the ground. And you also don't want to be too far on your back, because if you're diving on your back like this, then this forearm's not touching the ground like it should. It makes it really awkward to pin the ball to the ground. So if you're diving on your side, you have the most secure grip when you catch the ball, and then when you land on the ground with it. So to show you from this direction, this is what it looks like. So I'm catching the ball here with my nice W, and then when I bring it down, turning my hands a little. The turn mostly just comes from the wrist. So I'm not turning my whole body to do this. I'm just turning my wrists. And I'm this hand on top.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome. That's really smart. Using the ground, because that's
I invented
it. What did you say?
Thanks, I invented it.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, claim it. Until Dylan Powley comes back and he's like, wait a second. Yeah, so that was really smart, because that's the most dreadful thing for me. Like, if I was a keeper, is when you land and make a sweet save and it bounces, and then it's up in the air and now you're on the ground. It just takes so much more work to get back up. But just using the ground to stop it. So, and then you just said it's just your wrist that you're moving, not your body. So when
you're not twisting your whole upper body or your shoulders, it's sort of just twisting this to make it, if you're here, you're just twisting your wrist a little to put it up and down. And it's only a tiny turn because you're already here. It's just a very tiny turn like that.
Awesome.
Big hands from the bottom side to the top of it.
Awesome. Okay, so that's how you dive.
That's how you dive.
Okay, so can we go through really quickly the 3 steps again, and then let's see you bounce on that mattress one more time.
So the first one that we're doing is the step.
Okay.
Let's back up. So first, we're doing the step. It's a diagonal step. Your toes are pointed a little bit in that direction that you want to go, and you're keeping it, your shoulders are over it. You're moving your body at the same time, like this. You can just rock back and forth in that position, and see how my body moves at the same time. And then, as you take that step, that's when you're bringing this knee up. So that's when that motion starts. You're driving this knee up. And you can't really see what I'm doing at slow motion, This is all happening at an angle. Like I'm not standing straight up, driving my knee as I step. This is already happening when I'm pushing off with this leg, driving this leg to get some extra power. And then when we land, we're landing all along that side of the body. So every part of this side of your body, outside of the shoulder, that's what should be touching the ground when we land. And you don't want to bend your spine at all. You're trying to get your body stay in that line. Stays like that. And then the third part that we talked about was the securing the ball and bringing it down so that you're catching it with the W that we talked about earlier, and you're using the ground to help you secure it. So, I'll show you what a
Awesome.
Possible to yourself.
Awesome.
And just work on
one more time. Okay.
body there the whole time.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Cool. You should send us a video of you in a game doing some sweet dives. I know you have probably some sweet highlight videos.
Yeah.
You should definitely send it to us so we can see it kind of like in action of you doing this dive. Is that
all right?
Cool. That was awesome. Hopefully everyone at home enjoyed that because I would love to learn how to dive. I think I just have a little bit of fear in me and I just need to get it out. You know, I just got to do it, get outside and just do it. Maybe do it in a little snowbank.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to do. And as soon as the weather gets nice, you can get back out, find some nice place somewhere and do some reps.
Just got to do it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I have one more last thing to ask you, Annie. How can I improve my hand or eye coordination? Because I feel like sometimes a ball's coming, like I play goalkeeper, right? And a ball's coming from so far away, and I think I know how fast it's going, and I run out to grab it, and I'm like, oh, no, I overran. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just need to start learning that hand-eye coordination and kind of depth. So what do you do at home to work on that?
Well, I think this is one of the harder things to work on indoors. I do have some things to do for it, though. But working on, like, say the ball's coming, it's kicked from a longer distance, so you're tracking it through the air, and you're trying to position your body so that you can meet it somewhere, like meet it as soon as you can. But it's coming, and you have to judge the angle really quickly, and there's probably players around you. So the way that I practice that out on the field is I'll stand in net and I'll just get my teammates to play me a bunch of those balls over and over. And then my brain learns from muscle memory. But when you're indoors, I don't know anybody who has enough space or parents that will let you just kick the ball, just do a goal kick across the room. So,
don't do that.
Yeah, one thing you can do to work on that sort of distance is you can change your perspective to add a new challenge onto it.
Okay.
What I do is I'm going to be lying down on the floor and I'll be tossing the ball to myself and catching it in front of my face. So what that does, and you can practice tossing it at different heights, what that does, it changes the perspective because you're used to looking at the ball when you're standing up and it's coming towards you. So by changing the perspective, it makes your brain have to work a lot harder to try to judge the angle, try to judge how fast the ball's coming, and to get your hands there with proper form, of course, we want that W, to protect your face. So it just gives you a chance to practice that from a different angle. So I'm lying down here. Whoa, I'm just tossing it up.
Oh, God.
And I have to be tracking it the whole time. You can try putting some spin on it. And if you have someone that can drop the ball to you, that's even better. Then it's a lot less expected. Like you don't know if someone's dropping the ball onto you, then you don't know how fast it's coming. And you could do it an added level if you have a partner to work with at home, is have them be holding two balls and standing above you, and then they can drop either one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You just have that. And you're practicing catching it with the proper form while lying down. And make sure if you can think about how you're catching it and see what cues is my brain looking at to determine when to catch it, that will help you translate it into the game when you have the ball coming towards you. Then you'll know what your brain is looking for, and you'll be able to sort out the details you don't need more easily.
Oh, wow. So yeah, that's a great tip. Definitely. I got to learn how to throw.
That's actually hard.
I was like, oh man, I'm not even close to it. Oh, that was, I like that.
Throw straight up.
Yeah, but I want to get someone to drop it because I think that's totally different because your brain knows when you're going to when you're going to throw the ball, right? And it knows how powerful you are. So when someone else drops it, it's like element of surprise. You don't know. So that's super cool. Okay, any other ones?
That's about it, I think, for ones that I can do indoors. I have one more fun sort of just coordination one. Yeah. This one is my challenge to all of you guys. If anybody can do this, excluding Dylan, because he's probably good at it, I would like to see a video of it because I'm not the best at this, but it's just so fun and it's something to practice indoors. You know, the field players have juggling with their feet, and this is sort of the goalkeeper version of this.
Oh, okay.
For this one, you need 2 balls. Yeah. Or you can use 1 soccer ball and one of whatever other ball you have lying around in the house.
I'm going to go grab my ball.
Okay. So this one is all about knowing your center of gravity, like we talked about before. You're in ready position the whole time. So your knees are bent, you're like this. It takes a lot of concentration. So you're going to stack the balls on top of each other. You're going to be holding the bottom ball with 2 hands and balancing the top ball on top of it.
I don't know.
So you're just doing that. And this helps you understand where the center of gravity is because that's what determines that this ball is staying balanced. See the center of gravity? I'm not keeping it underneath the ball. You can imagine the center of gravity as the middle of the bottom ball. So if the top ball isn't directly lined up over top of it, then it's not going to stay here. You can do it with 1 hand too. And then you can try juggling with it.
Oh my God, this is so difficult.
And you want to keep it centered. Okay. Right over top when you're juggling. So
what do you mean? This? You're doing so awesome.
So awesome. And then the hardest one is just like, you know the juggling trick where you catch it on your foot and stall it? And so it's about keeping your foot soft.
Yeah.
You catch it. That's the next step up from this. Once you have it balanced here, you toss it up and you try to catch it again.
Oh.
Which is very hard. You got to keep it centered.
Come on.
Oh.
I'm going to say it's this ball. It's weird.
These balls too. They're terrible.
It's these balls.
So you have it balanced. You just want to be really, really soft with your wrists to be able to absorb the ball that's on top.
Guys, okay, yeah, please, if anyone at home can do this and is like killing it, can you please show us?
Yes, I'll take the practice, I swear. And then the hardest one, I won't demonstrate it because it's going to make me look bad, but it's like around the world on your feet. You have this ball on the bottom, the ball on the top, just holding this one on the bottom.
Okay.
Then you pop this one up, make a circle around it, and catch it again.
Okay. Have you done it? You've done it, though.
Well, I've done it in the past. I cannot do it today.
Okay, so you bounce it up and you do a circle around it? I didn't get that.
Yeah, you got to be able to get over it.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see this.
It's just a fun challenge, and it got me working up a sweat before you called.
This is awesome. I want to do. Oh, no. It's so hard.
It's really hard.
I cheated a little bit and using like a smaller ball, which I thought would help my case. But this whole stalling it's all about your center of gravity. You just got to find.
Yeah, it's about staying balanced and like breathing out when you do it. You can try whatever tricks work for you to keep you centered.
Look at this.
Do it.
Yeah. I'm not moving though.
You want to be moving around with your tight, short footwork so that you can keep keeping under there.
Okay, that's a cool challenge. I want to try one more time the stall.
Okay.
So you're stalling it. Okay, you're stalling it. Come on, stall. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, no, I can't. I gotta work on that one first. Do you do 2 hands at the bottom? Oh.
Yeah.
How do you start?
You can, I start it, I put the ball under my chin to balance it.
Oh.
Side like that, and then just let go.
Hold on. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it. I gotta do that later. That was awesome. I had so much fun with you again. Thank you for coming and showing us all these cool things. I hope everyone at home enjoyed it. If, like I said, if you have, I don't know, some sweet goal dive or goalkeeping skills to show us, if you're diving on mattresses at home in the middle of your living room, show us. And if you could do some of those cool tricks, definitely show the videos, because I think that'd be super cool to see.
I would love to see it. If somebody gets around the world one especially.
Yeah. I wonder if you can get us a video of, or when you record yourself doing it, so we can like see it in action.
Yeah, I'll record it.
Okay, perfect, awesome. Thank you so much, Annie, for joining us. Thank you, everyone who's watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. We are going to be doing a little bit of fitness, learning about how to properly squat, which I think is absolutely key. I know you must do a lot of squats in your fitness.
Yes,
right? I do it, right? I think squats are super key in any athlete, really. So super awesome. Check that out tomorrow at 4 p.m. But thank you, Annie, and thank you all, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye. See you.